from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I touched me. Remember when me tell you say I touched me. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you go like a papa nuku. But then the way you know, me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. For me that all and the rest of man I tell you what I do. Me never give up. Me tell them say what I do.
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, we'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front, without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Keep them on the patient people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Fight on, brave boys, fight on, heroes of our fatherland. Pursue the enemy, harass him, destroy the invader. March on, brave boys, now that victory is in sight. March on and hasten the disintegration of the enemy already set in motion.
Fighting a war, knowing the difficulties, the odds against us, there is an element of fatalism, people feeling, well, if the world chooses to abandon us, then perhaps it is better we all perish. They don't ever consider a Biafra not free. They believe in either Biafra free or no Biafra at all. That means none of us living to see it.
I need Biafra freedom. We Biafrans, we need Biafra freedom. For this, I decided, even to die, that Biafra must have its own freedom.
I want us to work systematically towards the establishment of a good, progressive, and democratic society where all vestiges of privilege and social injustice will be abolished, and the rich contribute more for the welfare of the poor. If civil war comes, and I do think it is imminent, you're quite right, it will for us be the price of freedom. Our people here have for a long time been prepared for this eventuality, and I am confident of their readiness. I think that when it does come, that the people on the other side would be surprised as to what they're going to get. And I'm confident that it will not last long.
We'll surely come out as a nation because we're fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
This is what Biafra is, the end of the journey for a persecuted, massacred, pursued people. We have made all attempts at a democratic resolution of this crisis. I have offered open elections, plebiscite. I have offered just an open carte blanche suggestion, anybody who can find a democratic way of finding out the wishes of the people, let him suggest it and we will go for it.
Another Savior,
holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior,
holy, holy.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop. God knows we can never stop until Biafra is restored. We are peace-loving people. We abhor death and killing of another soul. It's in our nature, that's how we are. But because of that, they have been coming and killing us all these years. We've kept quiet. They've been killing and killing and killing quiet. We have a case at the ICC We have a case at Africa Union. We have a case at what else again? Pending before the UN in New York. We've been to Geneva to tender our case. Before UN, till today, nothing. In fact, the more we complain to them, the more they come to abduct and rape our children, the more they come to kill us, the more they want to take over our land and our forests. And who told them that's going to be possible in our time? In a time, in a movement that I lead, you think you can come into our land and take it over? Oh dear. That means you don't know who we are.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very evening program. I appreciate everyone that have connected to this evening program. Thank you so much for joining wherever you're joining from. It is a weekend program. It is Sunday. Happy Sunday to every one of you. I always regard this as my Sunday sermon, and I appreciate every one of you that have connected. Most of you who are Christians, Biafran Christians across the world, I wish you all a very happy Sunday. Thank you all for joining. And those who are going to watch later, please try as much as possible to share. As you join us, don't keep the message to yourself. Like and share to other platforms, share to family and friends, share to your neighbors, share to anyone who's close to you, so they can join us and exchange views on this very few informations we are about to share now. It is very important. We will continue to express ourselves and say things the way they are. It is Sunday, and remember, some of us will be in the church by now. Some of us have gone to the church and come back, and some of us are still in the church. Wherever you are and you come across this video, please do the needful. Like and share. And don't ever forget to pray for Biafra. Every Christian across the world, one of your major prayer points should be Biafra. Because Biafra has everything to do with Christianity. Just as you are talking about the Christian genocide in Nigeria, it has everything to do with Biafra. You cannot properly address that Christian genocide without addressing the issue of Biafra. The world choose to run away from it. They choose to maybe go with the language that they prefer, Christian genocide. We don't have any problem with it. The most important thing is that let the right thing be done. But you cannot address Christian genocide properly without looking to Biafra. So wherever you are as a Christian today, it is Sunday, pray for Biafra in your various churches. Pray for Biafra in your various places where you gather for prayer. Those who are in church, pray for Biafra. Those who are still going to church, pray. And those who have gone to church and come back, did you pray for Biafra? Did you pray for our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Did you pray for our prime minister, Ekpa? If you didn't, that means you don't know why you are here. That means you do not care about humanity. You do not care about justice. And remember, justice against one is justice against all. Injustice against one is injustice against all. And justice for one is justice for all. So don't think it is just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon. Each time we talk about justice and injustice, it has everything to do with us, because it's a question of time. It will just be on your doorstep. That you're not the one today that is involved doesn't mean that it's not going to affect you tomorrow. Tomorrow you might be the one in the front line. So the same way you fought for people today is the way they're going to fight for you when your own time comes. That is why once you see injustice, you must speak against it. So if you have gone to church today and you did not pray for our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, and well, I don't know the kind of Biafran you are. I might just say that you are one of those who pretend to be fighting for Biafra, but you are not. Because every genuine Biafran today should know that we have a very serious issue at our hand. The most important things to us today is the freedom of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the freedom of Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister. Their freedom will ignite the fire of Biafra. Their freedom will confirm the actualization of Biafra. The reason why they were taken away from us is because of the actualization of Biafra. Because they saw that these people were making a critical move to the actualization of Biafra. Biafra was so real in the presence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that you can't deny it. Biafra was so real and coming that you cannot even pretend about it. In the presence of Mazi Sermon about the same thing. Biafra was so close, you can see it, you can feel it. That was why they did everything they could to take them away from our midst. But we don't have to relent. We still have to continue to fight the battle. We still have to continue to do what we are doing. We still have to continue to put up a fight until we are free. There is no looking back. So wherever you are today and you're watching this program, I urge you to like and share this program to others. Remember, in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come to this platform to attack people or individuals. We do not attack any race or religion. What we do in this platform is to present Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. Nigeria is a failed state, undoubtedly. Even the enemy is confirmed. Even those one Nigeria is confirmed that Nigeria is a failed state. But because of the helplessness of their situation, some of them no longer believe that they can make a way for themselves. Most of them no longer believe that they can survive outside the entity called Nigeria. So the responsibility lies on us to continue to educate them and speak up about these issues. Educate the international communities, speak, tell the international communities what is going on, and that is exactly what we are doing. That is what we are doing as Biafran agitators. You might misunderstand us. You might say you don't like our method of approach, just as many people keep complaining on a daily basis. But complaint is not going to solve the problem. Action will solve the problem. And the only people that are today taking a genuine action to solve the problem of Nigeria is the Biafran people. What are we asking? We are asking for the people to decide their fates. A referendum for people to take decision on what their fate is. We are asking that you should allow the people to choose what they want. We are asking for a disintegration of the Nigeria and create a country along value system where people can practice what they want, do what they want without fear or favor. We are asking for a country where people can have their caliphate peacefully. People can have their secular system peacefully, and people can have their monarchical system peacefully within themselves among those that agree. It is a very simple request, simple and genuine request. And it is not an experiment. It has been tried in so many parts of the world and it works perfectly well. Why wouldn't it work in the issue of Nigeria? Why is the world hesitating in making that bold step to do things right? Why is it taking them ages to do things right? No matter what they do, we will continue to speak, not just to Biafrans, not just to Nigeria, but to international community. That is why I'm online every day. Even if it is one person watching, even if it is two people that are watching me, I don't give a damn. What I'm doing is my own part. Speaking up, providing solution, speaking about what is going on, calling the attention of the international community to do the needful and save humanity, more especially in Nigeria. When you save humanity, you save yourself. So when we are calling for attention in what is happening in Nigeria, it is not just about those who are involved. When you pay attention and do the right thing, you are equally saving yourselves. Because if you refuse to rescue Nigeria, when the time comes, it's a question of time. Whatever is happening in that contraption will spill to Europe, to America, to Australia, to Asia. It will get to everybody. So that is why it is very essential that we must have to sit up, no matter how difficult it is. Sit up and do the right thing while we have the time. So wherever you are joining me today, I welcome you to this amazing program, as we always do. Remember, we are in a very interesting time, a very challenging time, a very tempting time. And in the midst of that temptation, we must continue to remain consistent and persistent in whatever we are doing. Do not be discouraged. There are so many discouraging things that are happening. You're going to see discouragement from the inside and outside. Your brothers, your friends, those who are supposed to be in agitation with you, those who you are fighting for, they are going to come against you. People are going to lie against you. But will you say because of that, you will no longer ask for your freedom? No. You should remember the reason you see what you are seeing today is still because of the captivity where we are. The reason you are seeing the sabotage is because of the place where you find ourselves. The reason you see people who are so selfish and self-centered, the reason you see people who put all their life in propaganda, blackmail, and lie, envy and jealousy, is because of where we find ourselves in that contraption, where the interest of the people is not represented, where the selfish interest is the order of the day, a place that is operating based on transaction. Nigeria was created for transaction, and it is working based on transaction. So everything in Nigeria is about transaction. They transact their conscience, they transact their life, they transact their day-to-day activities. Everything have been monetized in Nigeria. Human life monetized. The air breath you take is monetized. Your decision is monetized. Your day-to-day life in Nigeria is monetized. And it is that way because that's the way the contraption called Nigeria was formed. The foundation. The origin of the foundation was monetized. Nigeria was not meant to be a nation or a country. Remember, it's a business owned by someone. And the purpose of business is to make gain. And today, once you attach yourself to Nigeria, the only thing that's going to be ringing to your head is gain, how to make gain for yourself and your family. There is nothing like collective interest in Nigeria. When you mention Nigeria, collective interest dies a natural death. That is why it is dangerous to be part of that Zuluska Republic. And that is why we are calling for the international community to do the needful. Create country along value system. Let people be who they want to be and let the decision be theirs, not mine. It's not too much to ask. We will continue to ask this question and we will continue to make this demand, no matter how far they try to deny the fact, they try to oppress us, we will continue to speak up at every point in time. So today, on our Sunday sermon, we are speaking today, on this Sunday sermon, about rejecting the enslavement of the mind, the search for truth, justice, and freedom. That is what we are going to discuss today. So wherever you are joining across the world, I welcome you, brothers and sisters. Welcome you once again to this another Sunday sermon, wherever you are watching across the world. I thank you for joining in this very broadcast. Even though you were supposed to be having rest, it's a weekend, but you still choose to be with us in these few minutes you're going to be here. I appreciate you and I thank you so much. May Almighty God bless you as you join us. May Almighty God bless your family, bless your handwork. May He bless everyone sincerely seeking the truth, justice, peace, and wisdom. I appreciate every one of you. It's Sunday, a day we pray in our various churches. Pray to the Heavenly Father, the God of justice, the God of truth, the God that created every human being with dignity and free will. We pray that He grant us wisdom as we discuss this very evening on these very issues that we're going to discuss. Help us to speak truthfully. Help us to listen respectfully. Help us to pursue peace without hatred and justice without vengeance. This we pray, and we will continue to pray. In the name of Chukwu Gabiam. So wherever you are watching this program, I welcome you tonight, evening, afternoon, according to your time zone where you are. I want us to reflect on something that is bigger than politics. There is something that affects every nation, every family, every community. It is the condition of human mind. That is what we are discussing this morning, this evening. The condition of human mind. History shows that many societies have experienced oppression, conflict, struggle over identity and self-determination, just as we are experiencing in Biafra land today. People hold different views about struggles, like the struggle of the Biafran people, the self-determination pursuit. And it is important to understand them carefully rather than simply accept what others tell us. It is very important we pay attention. Pay attention to what people are saying and what people are suggesting. In the struggle for Biafra restoration, it is very clear that every single one of us wants freedom, but the only thing that is seemed to be different is the modality, and that should not be a problem. People have different opinions and ideas and ways of doing things. The least you could do is to do what you know you can do. We know human being have an independent mind. That is how Chukwu created us. He created us and gave us that independent mind to think for ourselves. And that is why most times I encourage people to have an independent mind, independent thoughts. Don't be a sheepish follower. Ask questions where necessary. Go into constructive argument where necessary so that people can learn. It will equally help you to think outside the box. It will make you to stop being selfish. You can be able to consider other people's viewpoints and match it with yours. Even where you do not agree, you might find a point where both of you can be able to coexist. Wherever you are today, every one of us as Biafrans, this message is for all of us. We must learn to understand each other carefully. We must learn to question things. We must learn to ask critical questions. My platform is not a platform for gossip. It is not a platform where we come for saga or propaganda. In this platform, I try as much as possible to educate and also to learn. My most interest here is the restoration of Biafra because I strongly believe, I have no doubt, that Biafra is a solution to Africa. Not just to Nigeria, to Africa. And our intentions and mission are very clear. That is why when I speak about Biafra, I speak passionately. And nothing can make me stop. I see no Biafran as my enemy. We are all brothers and sisters. Regardless of the difference, we can have difference of opinion, we have different understanding. All you need to do is to find a meeting ground, find an environment that makes you comfortable. That is why our role model always remains the supreme leader of IPOB. Even though he is the supreme leader, has all authority, he didn't stop other groups from existing. He never forced other groups to close down. He allowed them to be on their own and pursue the restoration of Biafra according to their own understanding while he works with them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader. Each time he sends a message, his message is to every one of us. He works with everybody as long as you are genuine and you're looking for the restoration of Biafra. He's ready to work with you. And he doesn't see anyone as a threat. Or some of us, we see things that we don't understand or things we don't agree with to be a threat. It is not. When you don't understand, you ask questions. When you don't know, you learn. Our discussion this evening is about why independent thinking matters. Why independent thinking matters. Why people should seek reliable information at all the time. And why justice and the rule of law are important in any democratic society. Very important. I can't overemphasize it. I continue to speak about these issues, and I hope that my brothers and sisters will listen and share it. Keep your envy, jealousy, greed, and annoyance aside. You must not like me, you must not love me, but do not attack a message that you know is meant to build us and not to destroy us. A message that you know, this message is meant to build us as Biafrans, but simply because it does not go along with what you want me to say, it does not promote an individual or an entity as you want. You speak against it, you attack it, you report it, even though when you know the message is meant to build us as Biafrans. I urge you to pay attention to this very program. And while you are watching, don't watch alone. Invite someone to join you and share from the knowledge. We are talking about why independent thinking matters a lot. So many of us in this struggle today cannot think independently. So many of us in this struggle, we just carry an information are given to us. We run with it without proper investigating. Many of us, we are standing on lies today. Many of us, we are standing on false hope. Many of us, we are standing on falsehood. Some ignorantly, some know very well that what they are preaching, the message they are carrying is wrong, and yet they continue to do it. But you that is watching out there, you that is on the comment section watching, and you that is watching either on TikTok or YouTube or X, it is very, very, very important for you to engage in critical thinking, independent thinking. It matters a lot. So many of us, the problem we have today is that we don't have a mind of our own. And I have said this several times. When you come to watch my program, keep your group mentality aside. I'm not advocating for you to leave your group or do anything. That one is a decision you take by yourself. But when you come to a program that is meant for all of us as Biafrans, keep your group thought, keep your group mindset aside. Come here as an independent mind, as an independent person. Come with an independent thinking. You must not agree with everything I say. Bring out your superior argument. Engage. By the time we engage, it will help other people who are watching us to equally understand and take properly. So this program today is also why people should seek reliable information. So many of us, what we are running around with is nothing near the truth. Today, many people have different version of truth. There is no platform that you will go today, they will tell you that they are lying. No platform in this agitation that will tell you they are lying. Everybody is running with their own version of truth to promote their interest. But the truth can only be one. It's not two. The truth can only be one. That is why if you have an independent mind and you are focusing on the unity of purpose, you will always know the truth. It is one, not two. Justice and the rule of law are important in any democratic society. That is why we will never stop calling for justice for mostly our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. We will continue to call for justice for them. Mazi Simon Ekpa, we know, is coming to court August 5th. August 5th is here. It's a question of some days. He's already here. And he's coming to court. All we expect is that every Biafran should give him support. He has requested that Biafrans should come to Finland. Those who can be able to be there. The same crowd that went to Finland for convention, the same crowd that went to Finland for declaration should be in Finland. In solidarity with Mazi Simon Ekpa, as his case is coming up on the 5th. And you have to be there on the 4th because of the protest. Very important. that protest has a role to play. That protest have a role to play to put pressure on Finland, to make them know that Mazi Simon Ekpa is not alone. He wasn't working for himself. To let them know that we have not deserted Mazi Simon Ekpa. We sent him on that errand and we are with him. That is why all the Biafrans are needed in that protest. It doesn't matter the group people, including IPOB under the Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are supposed to be, in fact, they are supposed to have the major presence in Finland. IPOB under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, directed with the new DOS. Mazi Kriso. They are supposed to be present in Finland for the protests, and in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they have a role to play. This is not the time for sectionalism. This is not the time for hatred. I believe we are overcoming that wickedness. Finally, the truth. We are now realizing the truth that all this while, every lie is against Mazi Simon Ekpa. Everything they have said against Mazi Simon Ekpa has been a lie all this while. Everything they did has been out of jealousy, greed, envy. Everything they have been doing against Mazi has always been to stop Biafra, to stop Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to destroy the structure that was put in place to save you and I. So now that we have known the truth, every one of us is supposed to be in Finland. Finland is supposed to experience the highest crowd ever of the Biafran people. In the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. On the protest that's going to happen on the 4th, and the court case starting from the 5th to 21st, they're supposed to feel the presence of the Biafrans and know, yes, that this man is not alone. And I hope that my fellow Biafrans are going to be there. It is very important. Very important. We will also reflect on the legal cases of Nnamdi Kanu. All the legal cases that are going on. Every one of us have a role to play, internationally and locally, to continue to put that pressure, because the only way to set a prisoner free from the hand of the government when you have a case with them, prisoners of conscience, political prisoners, the only way to set them free is through pressure, international pressure and local pressure. And that is why it is very important that wherever you are on the planet Earth, as a Biafran, you have a role to play. Speak up and tell the world about the illegal detention, injustice against our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. The case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the illegality is very clear and glaring. So we will continue to push it out there for those who pretend not to see, to know it. Likewise, in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, there are so many irregularities and injustice. His right was not respected. Mazi Simon Ekpa did not have the right to sell to fair hearing. No. In a case where the prosecutor refused to admit evidence provided by Mazi Simon Ekpa against the accusers, Nigerian government. They refused to admit any evidence. You can't call that fair hearing. That is not fair. That is not fair. It cannot be described as fair hearing. And that is why, at this time, Biafrans are making move to go along with an international lawyer who could be able to put pressure and make sure that the rights of Mazi Simon Ekpa is respected from the beginning to the end. That is the job of the international lawyer, who has already started his job, liaising with the Foreign Affairs Minister of Finland, the European Union, and the United Nations, with the US also, to touchlight the case and make sure that the rights of Mazi Simon Ekpa. We are not asking for any favor for anybody. We are not asking for any favoritism. All we are asking is that the rights of our leaders should be respected, because we know they are innocent. If the rule of law is followed, both of them are innocent. They cannot spend a day in detention if the rule of law is followed. But of course, we know when it comes to Biafra, human rights abuse is no longer human rights abuse. When it comes to Biafra, genocide is no longer genocide. When it comes to Biafra, things are treated differently. And we know the global conspiracy against the Biafra is real. The global conspiracy against Biafrans is real. But in all of that, we cannot be silent. We still believe there are still some good people out there. There are still some people, good people out there across the world, whether in the UK, in the US, in Israel, in the United Nations, in all powerful places and structures you can be able to find. There are still people that has conscience. And it takes one man to stand up and change the situation. It takes one man to stand up and change the situation. That is why we have to continue to speak, to catch the conscience of those good men who are there. Silence is not going to solve our problem. We need to continue to make the noise. They can call us noise makers. They can call us different kinds of names. They can demonize us. They can attack us. But at the same time, never give up. Remain steadfast and continue on the path you're going. Keep on talking. One day, monkey will go to market and not return. Things will never remain the same all the way. There must be a change, and that change is going to come soon. Recognizing the people have differing opinion about our leaders. We know that people have different opinions about our leaders and Biafra agitation. Whatever your opinion might be, the fact remains that all is not well in the contraption called Nigeria. There is no level playing field. People are not treated equally. Nobody can deny that, including those who are the part of one Nigeria. They agree with all these points we are making and all these reasons, in as much as they lack the confidence and strength to do what we are doing. But they all agree that the same problem that was there before the Civil War has even grown worse than it was then. And there's no way to salvage this very situation except by disintegrating the contraption and let people have their way, be who they want to be, go their separate ways, and be their own countries. So wherever you are as a Biafran, you must stand up. You must stand up. You must do the needful. You must do the needful. You must not allow yourself to be bullied. We will not allow that. Our goal has always been to encourage Biafrans far and wide. We are not encouraging hostility towards anyone. Rather, it is to encourage thoughtful reflection, peaceful dialogue, and respect for human dignity. That is all we are advocating for all the time. And we will keep on advocating for that, no matter what the enemies are saying, no matter what they are doing. We know sometimes it's very difficult to do what we do. The attack that is coming from right, left, and center is so much that sometimes you can't even, you wouldn't know what to say. It is so sad. But by the special grace of Chukwu Abiyama, we are going to get our destination, no matter what anybody is saying, no matter what anybody is doing. I have said it time and time again, that my platform is not a platform for any group. I'm not here to promote any group or any individual. The only two figures that stands out in my platform is the supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And it is that way because he has proven whom he is. Undoubtedly, whether you like him, you hate him, you believe him or not, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu undoubtedly have shown what he's made of. He made a promise and he has kept his promise, even in the face of death. He's white and whiter than white. Not because he said it, because of what I see myself. Another person is our Prime Minister, Mazi Ekpa. He made a promise and he kept his promise too, until the day he was taken away from my midst. And he has won my respect. He took us to the level we are today. Even when all hope was lost, he carried it on his shoulder. He took the bullet. The only person who will talk down on Mazi Simon Ekpa is those who are jealous, envious. Anyone today that is genuinely seeking for Biafra, we always applaud him. When you hear his name, you give him an accolade. He did a great job. To the level we are today, thanks to him, he did a great job. Outside Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, I have not seen anybody that come close. I have not even seen anybody that is getting ready to come close. And that is why I have always said that the only project that is before genuine Biafrans, the only project before genuine Biafrans is how to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. This is the only genuine project that is before us. The only genuine project. And whenever you are listening to my program or you're here, please, I want you to always know that I do not speak about dreams and wishes. It is good to have dreams. It is good to have wishes. It is good to have dreams and wishes, but I bet you, I speak much about reality than dreams. One of the things that is dragging people away from Christianity today and making people talk down on Christianity is giving people a hopeless hope, making people dream of something that is not obtainable, something that even within yourself, you know, with your own level of life, you cannot attain to this height, and somebody will come and tell you to believe it and have hope it's going to happen, even when you know it's not going to happen. You believe, just to make yourself happy. You believe it. That is the major problem Christianity has today. There is nothing wrong in having hope. There's nothing wrong in giving people hope and faith. It is good. But at the same time, do not forget the reality on the ground. In every hope, in every encouragement, don't forget the reality. As a human being, there are levels you can only attain with a certain level of knowledge or experience or education. This is reality. It is not a miracle. It is not a wonder. It is not a magic. There are certain, with your level of education, you should be able to know the level of things you can be able to do, the level of achievement you can be able to do. Even if you are not educated, with your financial background, you should know what you can be able to attend to, what you can be able to reach, the level you can be able to reach. We know there are people who are very wealthy, even though they are not educated. With their money, they can buy their way out on so many things. But you are not educated. You do not have the money. And yet, someone somewhere is telling you that you are going to attain a height that you know that is impossible. And just to make yourself happy, you believe it. Just to make yourself happy, you believe it. Listen, there is nothing wrong in having hope. There's nothing wrong in having faith. But hopeless hope is something you must not engage in. In every hope you display, in every faith you display, always think about the reality. God has made the world the way it should be. There are realities that God have put that when you turn a blind eye to those realities and you begin to wish and pray, you are wasting your garden time. You are wasting your time. That is why I tell people, when you come to my platform, keep away your group mentality. Throw away that your group mentality into the dustbin. It will not help you. It will not help you because you cannot know the truth without your group mentality. You cannot even pursue effectively the restoration of Biafra with your group mentality. You cannot. You can't even know the truth. You can't know the truth. But when you have an independent mind, think independently as a person. When somebody tells you, oh, our land is free. Our land is now free. We are now on our own. You will think within your own self. You can go extra mile to put up a call in your own village. Start from your own family. Ask them, how free are you? Are you still in Nigeria or not? What is going on? Put up a call and ask your people. When you focus on reality, you could know where to channel your energy on what to do and what not to do. But when you keep up living up in dream, someone deceive you and tell you that all is well, when there is danger everywhere. They will tell you that our land is safe, when we know that the contraption called Nigeria today is in charge of every hook and corner of our land. Our land is under occupation. Biafra land is under 100% under occupation. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was around, our land was in the control of Mazi, under the control of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You could see him, you could see that by his broadcast. Any day he's making broadcast or he gives an order. The reaction you see, not just from Biafran land, from other areas, you understand that this man is in charge. And that was why Nigerian government were so scared. They were scared. They knew that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in charge. During the time of Mazi Simon Ekpa, the same thing was playing out. They knew he was in charge. Today, they couldn't keep quiet in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. The military were crying, and they were coming in the public to cry and say, why would you allow Mazi Simon Ekpa to take over the media? Nigerian Senate were holding for 1 good week. All they were discussing was Mazi Simon Ekpa. They confessed that Mazi Simon Ekpa is in charge in Biafra, that even the governors obeys when he gives order. These were the period where we were in control of our land. But we lost that control after the arrest of Mazi Simon Ekpa. We lost the control completely. We had control when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was there. We had absolute control. After they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, Mazi Simon Ekpa regained the control and took it to a different level. But after Mazi Simon Ekpa was taken out, we lost the control. We lost control. We could barely find our feet, both in defense and otherwise. But somehow, some people still continue to tell you that, make you believe that all is well. All is not well, my brothers and my sisters. All is not well. We have a heavy job ahead of us. We have a great job, a great work against us. We have a great job against us, ahead of us. And I thank you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not silent. He has taken the responsibility, even in detention. He has taken the responsibility to fight for you and I that is free. One of the greatest things that happened recently is the recovery of the IPOB. The recovery of IPOB was one of the greatest things that happened. The supreme leader of IPOB taking back IPOB, take it back and make it what it should be. And exposing the same people who blackmailed Mazi Simon Ekpa, who demonized Mazi, and made some of us Biafrans, so many of us believed their informations, believed them. Some of us joined them to call Mazi Simon Ekpa a troublemaker, call Mazi Simon Ekpa a terrorist. They said it's Mazi Simon Ekpa destabilizing Biafra land. They say Mazi Simon was even those who were talking in the media, the presenters in the media. Today, I see some of them confessing. The other one they called Darlington. The other day, I watched the interview they were giving to Darlington. He said, no, since they were the one, they joined and say that since they say it's Mazi Simon Ekpa, that's because they should arrest Simon Ekpa. Now they have arrested Simon Ekpa, that the insecurity is not there. Insecurity did not stop. That it is the Nigerian government that is creating the insecurity. The same thing Mazi Simon was saying. But you joined the enemy for your selfish interests, some ignorantly, and you sold out a man that was fighting for you. Today, look at where we are. Look at where we are. If not for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if not for the move of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which he did, I don't know what will be our fate. So many of us started breathing again. So many of us started breathing again because of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just did. The action of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave us another breath. At least vindicated our prime minister inside and outside, in the heart of every Biafran. Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko was vindicated. That one gave us a very heavy breath. Making Biafrans to see a direction, at least something to hold on to. The IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, to hold on to. Our family, to make us know that our family is back. But even in the midst of that, some people, because of their group mentality today, they are speaking against that move. Some people, because of their group mentality, they are speaking against that move. They tell you, oh, the message is not from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even when you know that this message trickled down from Mazi Simon Ekpa. He was the person that made the first move to excommunicate these idiots and cast a vote of no confidence on them. We did it. When we did it, some of you were not paying attention. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today confirmed it. That alone should tell you that whatever information is coming there is from him. But you are scared and jealous because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not call your group name. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not put your group into the question. He doesn't have to. Because of that now, instead of you to focus on doing what you know how to do best in your own group, I have said it before, that every group have the right to operate in their mushroom sections and do whatever they know they can do to make Biafra be actualized. You don't force anybody, you don't drag anybody into it, and you don't castigate anybody unnecessarily for no reason, for no just cause, because of your own selfish interest. Get busy and do what you know you can do. Get busy. But what we see are blackmailers, people who feel that so long it's not coming from us, it's not legitimate. Even when they have nothing to offer. Even when they have nothing to offer. Some people will claim that they are the legitimate people. There is no legitimacy in you when you have nothing to offer. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kept it open right from time. You see him moving alongside with Avid, moving alongside with the Rising Sun, moving alongside with the ambassadors of self-determination. All these are groups. But you see him mentioning them because these are groups made up of intelligent men who knows what they are doing, who is focusing on the unity of purpose. He didn't tell them to dissolve and come into IPOB. No. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't tell them you must dissolve your group, come into IPOB. He didn't say that. Everyone is adding their own impact. But some people who are not even making any wave, we have not seen anything you have done, but yet you are very concerned in dragging people into your mushroom group. You want to drag people into your mushroom group and you end up now belittling the IPOB that is supposed to be our family. IPOB is the family. That is where we all belong. It is not just an organization. That is the most annoying one. They will tell you that IPOB is just an organization. Just an organization. You're an idiot. Those of you that have such mindset, you are an idiot. You can't think. You don't have a... That is why I say go and get independent mind. Have an independent mindset. Then you can come here and understand the message. Without an independent mindset, your brain will still be empty. You'll be rigmaroling everywhere and think you know something when you know nothing. You know nothing. Because of your selfish interest and self-centered attitude, you belittle the family where you belong and you tell them, oh, it is just an organization. You call it just an organization. And I challenge every one of them that is calling IPOB just go and bring the registration of what you are operating. That's your mushroom group you are operating. Go and proudly come out and show the world your registration. Let us see what is written in it. And some of you that are following such kind of idiotic narrative, do not even ask questions. You don't even ask questions. Somebody who is telling you that IPOB is just tell him, please, I agree. IPOB is an organization. Can you show me the registration of your own group? Show me. What is it written? Is it registered as a country, a nation, or what? How is it registered? Can you please show me? If they now show you and you find out that they are also registered organization, then why are they now belittling IPOB that is known across 72 countries of the world, properly registered, identified. United Nations knows about IPOB. The entire world knows about IPOB. IPOB have given so many people documents, given so many people asylum abroad. Why do you belittle it? That is our family. Even our Prime Minister, Mazi Samuel, never belittled IPOB. His problem was with the DOS. His problem was the DOS. He tried everything possible to salvage it. That was when he tried, and it became almost impossible because he wasn't the one that put in place. There is a code of conduct that must be obeyed. That was when he cast a vote of no confidence and told them that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will confirm it anytime he is free. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just confirmed it. He didn't have problem with IPOB. Because of the evil they were doing and the obstruction, that was why Mazi Samuel distanced himself from them and began with Brigi, Biafra Republic Government in exile. He took up the Biafra government. And the Biafra Republic government then we are issuing people got amnesty through that Biafra Republic government in exile, just like IPOB. Just like people got amnesty from IPOB, people got amnesty from Biafra Republic government in exile. We saw it. People got asylum abroad. People got asylum, not amnesty. People got asylum. The same way people got asylum with IPOB across the world, people got asylum with Biafra government in exile. And these are practical things you can see. I'm not talking about dreams. Oh, I wish our nation will come. Now we have embassy, this is a wish. There's nothing wrong in having a wish. But I am speaking of reality, the reality on the ground. Just like some people will go and type Google, go and read Google for you, how to have a government, how to get a country, how country we are made. They will go and read the Google for you. But ask them, this thing you are reading, practically, is it what is obtainable? Is it what you are doing? Is it what the group you are supporting are following? It is not enough to read histories. Is it what you are following? Mazi Simon Ekpa explained it in ABC. You know, his own ways, he makes things simple for people to understand, even a layman to understand. He made it simple for us to understand. Mazi Simon Ekpa spelled it out, what we are going to do to be recognized, if we want to be recognized. He made it simple, what we are going to do immediately after declaration. He didn't put it in parable. It was in ABC, very simple. You're not asking questions. Why the deviation? Have we done what he said we should do? Are we on that path or not? These are critical questions you ask yourself with an independent mind. Find an answer, then you can now come to conclusion on what to believe or what to say. But it is sad that so many of us have lost critical thinking. So many of us have even lost independent mind because of what we will eat, because of what we will drink. Some because of friendship, some because of popularity, some because of position, some because of one little tip or the other. Even something as small as a recharge card makes people to lose their critical thinking, to lose their independent mind. Wherever you have lost yours, go and take it back. Get it back. Wherever you have lost yours, go and get back your independent mind. It is very important at this particular point in time. If we must make a difference, we must always focus on the reality on the ground. Even as I'm talking to you, don't just take my word in ABC and run with it. Whatever you hear from me, think about the reality within your own self, by your own self, without anybody pushing you right, left, and center. You have the independent mind to sit back and think. Think. What I'm hearing, is it the truth? What this man is saying, is that the fact? Is that the truth? Is that obtainable? Is that what is obtainable on the ground? If somebody tells you a story about Biafra. Biafra land is not existing in the dream. Biafra land is not existing in the spirit. It's something that is on this planet physically, that you can pick up your phone and make a call in Biafra land and make inquiries of ABC to know the nature of things there. It's as easy as that. So why would you be believing falsehood, even when you can put up a call in a second and you make inquiry? Why are you believing nonsense? Why are you believing lies? Even when it is easy for you to investigate, you have the chat GPT for there, you have Google there to Google, you have so many other means, more intelligent than factual means to find information. Yet, you wouldn't do that. Simply because if you begin to dig deep, you find out that you are nowhere, including the group you are supporting, they are nowhere. Why don't you independently think right so that your message will be straight? I have said it time and time again. I don't know why it is difficult for people to understand that I belong to nobody. I belong to Biafra. I support the actualization of Biafra. And I speak up for anything that will promote the coming of Biafra. I stand 1000% with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever he says goes, the supreme leader. Whatever instruction he gives goes. But that does not mean I will throw away my critical thinking. When it comes to people he appoints, whoever he appoints, I will give my utmost support, promote them, follow everything they say. But I will ask my questions where necessary. Just like the new DOS he has formed. It was formed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, by no doubt. So what's the people that are put? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not God. There are bound to be mistakes. He's not God. And whoever he put there can be there tomorrow and change and become something, become a monster. I don't blame him for that. So all I have to do now is to support every single thing he has brought forward, not to attack it. Then I watch and see. Wherever they begin to deviate, I will raise an alarm. I will talk about it. Call them properly, call them to order, hold them accountable. That is what to do. Not for you to begin to destroy the structure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even when nothing has been done yet. Simply because you want to secure a landing space for yourself. You believe that if IPOB takes effect, that you are gone and gone for good. And for that, you begin to see IPOB as threat. Any agitator that is seeing IPOB as a threat, you are not looking for Biafra. If you are a Biafra agitator and you see IPOB as a threat, you are not a Biafra agitator. You don't know what you are doing. You are just deceiving yourself. IPOB remain the family where every one of us belong. And I thank Chukwu Okike that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have removed it from the hand of the criminals. He has removed it from the hand of criminals and put it back where it needs to be. Wherever our Prime Minister is today, he will be happy that what he has spoken, what he has said, has been confirmed finally. Mazi Simon Ekpa will be the happiest man wherever he is, because he has been vindicated in so many ways, so many angles. Go to many platforms today. Those that castigated him today have realized that they did the wrong thing. They fought the wrong battle. And today they are paying the price. Those people who joined them to castigate him, they are the ones today that are carrying the whole burden of protecting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, defending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, defending all the lies, which would have not been if they supported Mazi Simon before, we would not be where we are today. If they had joined us to support Mazi Simon, we will not be where we are today. These things we are talking today will not be saying it, but for one reason or the other, they decided to listen to something else. But it's better late than never be late. We still thank God that at least many of them have changed and they are now propagating the right gospel. And I pray that Chukwu Okike will give us the strength and power, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to overcome. Remember, tomorrow is Monday. We are going to have our Monday program. And many of us who are still observing the sit at home, continue to observe it. If you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserves it, continue to observe it. Don't run away. If you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserves support, you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have made sacrifice and he deserves support, continue to support him. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, continue to stand for our supreme leader. If you know that he deserves our support, he deserves our input, he deserves that every one of us should stand beside him, you must continue to do your own part and stand with him. This is a man who has fought and taken the bullet for all of us. So we have every right to stand by him. The only people who will refuse to stand by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are those who have skeleton in their cupboard, who because of their greed, envy, and jealousy have refused to accept the truth. But no matter how they try, to pretend and continue to push their lies, we will continue to expose them. You can never deny the truth for too long. The more you continue to deny the truth, the more the truth continue to come out. And we will continue to make sure that the truth is not hidden. The enemy can try to hide it, but it is our duty to stand on the truth and the truth all the time. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every single one of us that is on this program. The most important task ahead of us is how to get out of the zoological republic called Nigeria. Nigeria is not favorable to anybody, not even to other tribes or those who call themselves one Nigerian. But our difference with them is that when you see them, they are full of complaint. They will complain from morning till night. But at the same time, the same thing we have a country where you have fake agencies operating. Fraud is institutionalized in Nigeria. Fraud. In Nigeria today, fraud is institutionalized. But nobody is bold enough to do the right thing. You see many of our Igbo, Biafran people who call themselves intellectuals. When you see them online, they will come and speak grammar, speak so much grammar. After speaking so much grammar, when it comes to solution, they have no answer. They have no answer. They complain and complain. Within inside, they continue. The same complaint, what we had many years ago is the same complaint. And there is no solution.
I guess I should adopt.
It is so sad. Like the ones they are talking about, their state police now, arranging of their state police and all the useless plans they are making. When you look at the intention and their modalities, you see that everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. And we have said it time and time again, you cannot build on a wrong foundation. You can't. Once the foundation is wrong, every other thing you put on it is wrong. Once foundation is wrong, everything is wrong. But some people believe they can do magic. It's so sad. Let's listen to this video that was recorded. I think it's Nnamdi Kanu in one of the debates. Let's hear what Nnamdi Kanu has to say here, and then we can now go from there before we come into their media and listen to some of their media news that we have in their media. Let's hear what Nnamdi Kanu has to say on this very program so that we can equally grab one or two things from there. Let's go.
I guess I should adopt the existing line and say I extend my appreciation to His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his courage in giving us this bill. If I could sing, I will sing on your mandate. But since my voice is very bad, let me begin by, now there's a gap here, and there's a reason for it. It's actually for the Nigerian public officers who have elected to abandon gunship so that this will be a conversation of irrelevance.
That's why I refuse to move closer, because they need to be represented in this conversation as ongoing stakeholders. This conversation is so significant that citizens are not invited to the table. So it's a conversation among politicians, fixing for themselves their own instruments of power.
And that is what Nigeria has always been. Whenever you see Nigeria putting anything you see as effort to make things better or any policy, it is the politicians putting a policy that will serve them for their selfish and evil purposes. These things are a fact that people like Nnamdi Kanu, they know, but I don't know why they still choose to continue to believe that somehow a miracle will happen and they will get a better Nigeria. What he had just said now didn't start happening today. It is something that occurs, even as they are talking about state police. The reason of that state police now, when they're discussing it among themselves and how they are going to use it to control, it is about politics, to control the people. They are still talking about the same police force, to control the people. It has nothing to do with the citizens. Likewise, every other bills they have signed in the past, every other policies they have put in place, it is either to hold you down or to promote their evil agenda, to have more grip on the people. That's what it's all about. But somehow, some people that come to speak eloquent English and complain in their studio still go back and continue to dine with them and wallow with them.
That's the first thing. So when I listen to these politicians here talk about, give us examples from America and from all of that, I want us to start by acknowledging this is a uniquely Nigerian conversation. That's why there are no public officers that run away. So let's not fool ourselves. And I want to make five very quick clarifications along those lines. Number one, we are talking about reforming the most fundamental power of a state in election season. We're in the election season, and we're talking of reforming the most significant power of the state without debate. So this morning, we've learned that there are, in fact, two different versions of the bill going through the National Assembly. An executive bill passed by the Senate and a different one passed by the National Assembly. No citizen has seen those bills nor participated in reviewing them, as citizens are entitled to do. If we are talking about using the police to protect citizens, and citizens are not part of it, who will the politicians be doing business with? Bandits and terrorists? Are they the interlocutors that the politicians will be doing business with? Why are they so afraid of citizens that none is invited to the table? They tell us that before the legislative proposals were considered, they had consultations with citizens. Why are there no citizens seeing the draft proposals and making inputs into them? Now, the other point is this. We are talking about governors as chief security officers of the states. And everything is being done in the framework of security. Let's remind ourselves, the police is a law enforcement institution. There's a difference in the Nigerian scheme between security and law enforcement. It's such an easy distinction to miss. Why do I say so? Under our scheme, nobody here has cited section 315 of the Constitution. It preserves 4 different pieces of legislation. One is the National Security Agencies Act. Under Section 2 of the National Security Agencies Act, primary responsibility for internal security in Nigeria is not with the police. It is with the State Security Service. The governors are not complaining that we should decentralize State Security Service. They are complaining they should own the police. These are governors who have never funded their ministries of justice. Now, they will put money to give to police because police is used for rigging elections. They will not fund the ministries of justice, which are essential for putting away criminals who endanger Nigerians. And nobody here is talking about the funding of ministries of justice. Ask all of these governors who have run away how much they have spent on their ministries of justice in the past 4 years. You can count it on your fingers. But they are investing in the police, and they want us to believe that this is about how to protect the citizens. So let me make 3 other points about protecting citizens. We talk about native authority policing. That's not the issue. Historical memory matters. 25 years ago, 3 states in Nigeria pioneered what we are discussing today. 1, Zamfara State. 2, Anambra State. 3, Benue State. Benue Vigilante Services Law, 2001. Anambra State Vigilante Services Law, 2001. Zamfara State created HISVA. Okay? Those are the 3 states that have given us 3 different pathologies of insecurity in Nigeria. Banditry in Zamfara State, IPOB in Anambra State, Benue State, we know the problems. They have deepened the problem rather than solved it. That is why we need to care about process. We need to care about the contents. But when you raise that, the governors say what? It is detailed. It doesn't matter. It is everything. There is a consensus historically on the question of policing. In 2006, the Nnamdi Presidential Committee on Police Reform agreed what we are discussing. In 2008, the MD Yusuf Committee on Presidential Committee on Police Reform agreed we need decentralization. In 2012, the Party of Science Commission on Presidential Commission on Police Reform agreed it. That's not the issue. The issue is the detail. And on those details, they are running away from citizens. They don't want to hear from us. And this morning, we heard from the majority leader of the Senate. What did he do? He was talking about proposals should be proposed, but he's the person who shepherded the bill through the Senate. What did he put inside it? So let me conclude with 2 more things. Number 1, we've heard the governor of Anambra State here tell us about how we need to address also fiscal federalism. And he makes a very valid point. He also wants us to decentralize courts. There are 27 federalisms in the world. There is only 1.5 that have state Supreme Courts. The United States model is very unique. Mexico does not have a state Supreme Court as such. Every major appellate system terminates in 1 court. The invitation to state courts is an invitation to anarchy. The idea that land issues should be finished at the state level leaves you with one question. The Constitution protects the right to property in Chapter 4. If land is not property, what is? And if you are from Zamfara State and you go and buy land in Anambra State and you will have 2 neighbors of the governor taking instructions from the governor as how to decide it, you're finished. You no longer have a country. You have Bantustans. And let me finish on this note, therefore. Training and doctrine. We are going to be creating state police with no transition arrangements, with no provision for anything. And we are talking about these things don't matter. You know, these are minor issues. How do you, in a policing system that has restricted over 1,770 something AK-47s in the last 5 years, we are saying it does not matter who has armed, to whom it is given. Because we want to give governors the power of state policing in an election season. Let's remember that. This is happening in an election season, and we are not allowed to ask the question, why should that be so? Let me yield on that score, and I hope that we can continue as citizens, even when the politicians don't want to listen, to continue to have this conversation, because at the end of the day, it is our assets online. The politicians are already well protected.
You have heard them. This is just a confirmation to everything we are saying, that Nigeria is irredeemable. There is nothing you can put on a faulty foundation and it will work. Everything they are doing and presenting always has a motive behind it. It didn't start today. It didn't start yesterday. And it's not going to stop. That is why when we look at these people that come and speak eloquent English, they only talk about problems. But when it comes to solution, they have nothing to offer in terms of solution. And they know very well that Nigeria, with the way it's structured, they will never allow it to function. The owners of Nigeria are happy with the way it is working. They gave you a police force, not a police. They gave you a police force just to subject you, just to intimidate you and control you. That is why they gave you police force. The British gave you police force, and they are still holding on to that police force, creating a different one now, state police or whatever they call it. Not just state police, they are creating a state police force again. Well, from all their debate and more debate are going to come, and so many of other things that I have seen online, it is very clear. It is in confirmation that Nigeria is not a country, has never been a country, and will never be. The only simplest way to solve this problem is create country along value system. And you see him when he was making an example of insecurities and was talking about Kanu or Kaduna's Hisba and Anambra IPOB and Benue. IPOB is not a terrorist organization, has not created any problem. It's not a troublesome group. IPOB is the most peaceful organization you have ever found in the world, in the whole world. The most peaceful, with a large number, they have the highest number of members. And yes, they are the most peaceful across the whole world. Their agitation has never been violent. Till date, the only people that are creating this notion of violence and insecurity, and they tag IPOB into it, is the government of Nigeria. And this man, Nnamdi Kanu, knows about it, and yet he comes here to make example with IPOB. They do not want to address the main issue. Why is Nigerian government fighting by all means to make Biafra land insecure? Why are they trying to make the agitation of the Biafrans violence by all means necessary? Why? You and I knows the answer. But let them continue to pretend while we are here watching them. Every single thing they say and they do confirms everything we are doing. When we say that Nigeria is irredeemable, this is one of those confirmations. You see him speaking eloquently, talking and talking, but at the end of the day, what is done? Nothing. Let us watch another interesting video again that is coming out from that contraption called Nigeria. Let's watch this one again. Another interesting video that is coming out from the Zoological Republic.
National Commission for Almighty in Nigeria, wonders shall never end. This is not fairy tale. It is fact contained in 2026 budget operated currently in Nigeria. If you are in doubt, check pages 2287 to 2790. You will see the budget of National Commission for Almighty. The commission is primarily aimed and targeted at checkmating and addressing the menace of Almighty system in northern Nigeria, particularly in 19 northwest of Nigeria, particularly in northwest and northeast, where you have over 30 million out-of-school children, mostly made up of Almighties. We thought the commission would limit its own mandate to the issue of Almighty. But alas, 2026 budget in Nigeria has disclosed an opposite mission. Politicians are now using the platform of the Almighty system to siphon money and insert capital projects that have no bearing with the life and living and comfort and welfare of the Almighty. For example, in the 2026 budget currently operating, 1.4 billion naira was inserted in the National Commission for Almighty as what? As a provision to construct a road in Abeokuta. 1.4 billion. Almighty in northern Nigeria, budgetary provision meant for the Almighty system being spent in Abeokuta. In Ekiti State, 1.4 billion naira was inserted to do a network of roads in a secondary school in Ekiti. Another 1.4 billion was inserted to do what? To do a network of roads in what? In Nnamdi in Kaduna State that has nothing to do with Almighty. Yet, in the same budget, 70 million naira was allocated. For what? For installation of solar power in all Almighty schools in Nigeria. 70 million naira for solar system.
Very funny.
For the Almighty.
God.
But 1.4 billion naira for network of roads in the secondary school in Ekiti State. 1.4 billion in Nnamdi in Kaduna State for roads. 1.4 billion naira in Abeokuta for roads. 70 million naira for solar power for all Almajiri schools in northern Nigeria. 1.4 billion naira was allocated for what? For CBT, computer-based justice center. For what? For WAE, for JAM, for NECO that has nothing to do with Almajiri. My understanding is simply that budgetary provisions in Nigeria are just an annual rituals. Garbage in, garbage out. Meant to siphon public money. Meant to deceive the larger society. Meant to grease the palms of the high and mighty. Meant to create contract opportunities for politicians and their cohorts. Luckily, every day is full of thief. One day is full of honor. A day is coming.
You have heard it. All this program we are playing is to confirm that Nigeria is a failed state, an irredeemable one at that. You can see it's better spoken. He made it clear. Almajiri in the budget of Nigeria. If you look at it, it's a shamelessness inside the 2026 budget of National Commission for Almajiri. They budgeted for them. Not just that they budgeted for Almajiri, or every contract that was there, everything there is just a means to siphon money and share for each other. It is so sad. It is so sad. This is what Nigeria is. And you can't get the picture clearer without showing you all these videos. Sometimes when we come on, we talk and talk, we be as if we are ranting. So when we talk, we equally bring you videos that is coming out from the Zoological Republic for you to be able to reach a conclusion and know what is going on. It is sad. Very, very sad. And this is a situation that is irredeemable. You can't redeem it. You can't. There's nothing you can do to redeem the situation. It will only get worse by day. It will continue to get worse. Whether you like it or not, it will continue to get worse. So now let us go to the conventional media and see the information they have on their media news. Let us look into the media news and see what they got. It's important, as I have always said, that we won't stay away from the media. We will keep on touching issues there to make sure that people understand what is going on and what is obtainable.
Headline on today's newspapers, and we're going to start with the newspaper of record this day on Sunday.
Absolutely, the newspaper of record is beautiful design, today, but of course it's the news items that are more important. Just like yesterday, and throughout the week, this day is staying with the biggest, of course, news of the day. The lead story says, Army, how we rescued 44 abducted pupils, teachers, and the writers tell us more. Presidency Atiku in fresh row over release of victims. Former VP accused of silence after victims regained freedom. Presidency hails Obi for calling for Thanksgiving. Isn't that a good thing to do? Atiku denies allegation of silence, and NGF hails rescue. Makinde to brief Nigerians on what transpired. But of course, before Makinde briefs Nigerians, the army is speaking, and they are saying, essentially, if you look at the first paragraph of the story, the Nigerian army has revealed that the 44 pupils and teachers abducted by terrorists of Oriri local government area in Oyo State were rescued following a sustained intelligence-led joint security operation. And the same thing that we know, but of course, they're a bit more detailed. And of course, there are also the issues of the fact that they went after families and relatives. But of course, questions still persist. The day was like, a total capture of the terrorists, given that we were told that 9 were unalived and 8 people, and 8 of them arrested. Absolutely. Was it like they kept the children, the pupils and the teachers elsewhere when this combat was going on? Given the fact that we also lost Lieutenant Lieutenant Isaac, who was part of the rescue team from the Nigerian army. But the army is saying that this is what we did. A lot of Nigerians are saying that kudos to you, we appreciate it, the kids are back, the teachers are back. Can we also apply the same strategy to those who are still in captivity in Borno State? I'm sure that that's an aspect that you would like to comment on.
I would really like to comment on that because I feel like this is something I have been stressing since this happened on the 15th of May, because on the same day, on the 15th of May, suspected Boko Haram insurgents attacked Musa Primary and Junior Secondary School in Borno State and kidnapped 42 children. And 6 weeks later, on the same local government area, in a different school, government day school in Lassa, in the same local government area, they adopted another 36 students and a teacher. These students have not been brought back home. There were toddlers who were kidnapped in Borno State and they've not been returned home. And some of their parents are trying to say that they have not had proper communication with the government. What is good for the students in Oyo State is good for the students in Kaduna, in Oyo, in Zamfara, all across the country. The second thing I'd actually like to say here is this is when we're speaking about the back and forth between the Atiku spokesperson and the presidential spokesperson, Mr. Bayo Onanuga. I think it's very important that there needs to be dignity when it comes to the office of the spokesman of the president, because this is an office that's speaking for the state, it's speaking for the president, it's speaking to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is not a political attack office. It's not an office that should be focused on politics. It should be an office that's informing and assuring the Nigerian citizens, because this is something that has it seems to be a trend now with the PFIPC scandal. The statement coming from Bayo Onanuga made the scandal worse because it was talking about don't be hoodwinked, don't use it for politics against the chief of staff to the president. You're not speaking to fellow politicians or other political parties. You're speaking to the Nigerian people, and the office requires respect and dignity. But the most important thing here, especially because this conversation has now become about if President Tinubu is securing political points, when the conversation should be about mass kidnappings, should be about the children rescue, should be about our service members who lost their lives trying to rescue children, Nigerian children, and it should be about the children who are still being held by kidnappers. The conversation requires some dignified language. It requires respect for the Nigerian people and for the office itself, and also do research before you release a statement on X, because of this, by virtue of the position you hold. Any statement you release is seen as representing the government. It's not just Bayo Onanuga on X. It now says presidency versus Atiku. The office requires some dignified and measured language.
This one, that's a very important thing that you mentioned, particularly for professionals in our field who have the opportunity to serve in government, particularly as spokespersons. I remember when Chief Obasanjo was the president, he was clear about the fact, because he listened to advice, and they were clear about the fact that those who will be the official spokespersons, apart from the Minister of Information who speaks for government, those who will be the official spokesperson will not act as attack dogs.
Yes.
Will not fight, will not do ruffle, will not do jaga. And I remember, Uncle Tudio said, Auntie Remu, at that point, you will not find them doing ruffle. What did Obasanjo do? He instead employed those within, the same offices who are not at the same rank as them. At one point, doing a coupe, Dr. Doing a coupe, and at another point, frankly, who will be the attack dogs? You need somebody to go and attack based on what we do. Go and do that. You speak well, you are eloquent, you can fight, but not the professionals who edited papers, who are big names on television, who are epitome of when it comes to, fine journalism. And I think that maybe we can borrow belief, from what Obasanjo did.
Honestly, it makes me shy. It makes me very shy for the presidential spokesperson to be caught. In the past there was a very dark man, not being able to fact check a video about very dark man and putting it on. No, but that is unbecoming of that office. It is unbecoming. Well, it's gone from very dark man not fact checking that to the former Vice President Atiku now, to the PFIPC scandal, using hoodwinks, using political language, and sometimes the tone of the language is as if you're berating the Nigerian citizens. The tone is incredibly important.
What is more important is knowing that the duty the spokesperson of government or the president especially. It's not to attack anybody. You can make your point.
It's not a partisan.
If you therefore think that we are dealing with virulent people that will require, head putting, let other people do that, frankly speaking. But there are other interesting stories on the cover of this day today. On top of the masthead, the very hardworking Inspector General of Police, Tunji Adisu, is speaking. He says that state police will deepen intelligence gathering, bring security closer to Nigerians. And I think that that's an important thing to say from the Inspector General of Police, given that a number of his predecessors were foot dragging on the issue of state police. And I think Tunji Adisu is also getting his PR right, and not just because he's getting people to talk nice about it, but because he's out there doing the stuff that people want to report positively, and we do commend him for that. Before we go to this time, the two photographs on the two pictures on the cover of this video are important. The first on top is about the very timely Arise News town hall meeting that held on Thursday on state police. That means that the issues raised there are still very germane. The other picture down there, for the love of King's College, for those who went to that beautiful school, the caption says, President of the King's College Old Boys Association, Kekoba, they call it, Alhaji Kashim Ibrahim Imam, presenting a 1 billion naira check towards the 100 billion naira Kekoba Collegium Fund for the King's College Education Trust to the pioneer president of King's College Lagos and chairman of the Kekoba Board of Trustees, Alhaji Femi Kanu, SAN, following the federal government's approval of the concession of King's College Lagos recently. And by the way, Alhaji Kanu, icon, elder statesman, did make sending a message last week after we discussed the Ekpa, Kulikuli, Akara, and everything. And he said, Steve, I also sold my mom dealt in Moi and Akara, and that it is important to communicate things decently and well, so that people understand that little beginnings and works that are not like in offices and stuff like that should not be spoken down in the manner that it looks like people are doing, and it shouldn't be politicized. And it says that it's an example of how Moi can at least put you through school.
Most of us are examples of small beginnings, whether it's our parents or our grandparents, who used. My grandma used chicken to send my mother to school. Without that, I would not be here today. But also in the line of that conversation, of course, there is the First Lady's comments to Burna Boy, Ashake, David Doe, channeling the latest one is yes, but I think the president has what's that big car? What's the
Chevrolet?
No, it's
Thank you, Gentle.
and the new jet.
Thank you for joining, Gentle.
The conversation here should always be what's good for the goose is good for the gander. The First Lady has shown us how she is farming, right? I think they also should show us how they are also channeling. She has also shown us her channeling her personal wealth to help the vulnerable in Nigeria. Yes,
she doesn't draw money from government.
But of course, the president's office, right? The posturing of the government. I will bring back to Orosai report the fact that we're now having fraudulent agencies that no one can even tell because there are too many people in Abuja. The presidential travels, the presidential airfields, those, the giving out of cars. The First Lady gave out cars to women leaders, but then if what is good for the goose is good for the gander, why does the Akara not get a car to take her children to school? Why doesn't she get a car to start a ride-hailing business?
Starting from 50k, 100k, 150k, but I think the point that she made to entertainers, particularly the successful ones, that shouldn't be taken out of context. It's important, and it is within our right to ask the sort of question that you're asking, show by example.
Yes.
But then she also has the right, she reserves the right to also advise people, not only entertainers, but everybody of boycott, for example, to say this is what I see. I'm sure that minders will also be advising that David is doing sort of a thing that you are talking about. Maybe Burna Boy is doing it, on the ground. And I know what feel that he's doing, given that his grandfather, Uncle Benson donated his mother, people of charity, and those are the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
Who has they mentioned whiskey or something?
I believe Ashake. But we see people give back to society. But I would say that the ABC woman leader who gets a car and the Akara seller who gets 50,000 naira are all equal under the law of Nigeria and all have one vote. And I think when we have conversations about who deserves what, it's not. I don't look at the people who are selling akara or more as smaller. I think they should be treated with the same amount of dignity and respect as a political leader.
I do agree. You were shocked that half of the women leaders that you have, and I'm not speaking specifically about those who got gas, started as akara sellers, started as mobile sellers, started as Holy seller. It's and this is not to endorse it. But let's look at this thing style. Let's look at this thing style before we take some more newspapers, because on the cover of this day style today is Funke Bokno Obrute, the event maestro. There's no one who does not know, I think, her events. If you live in Lagos, if you've been to her event, you've enjoyed yourself. For more than 2 decades, Funke Bokno Obrute has helped shape Nigeria's event industry, transforming what began as an accidental career into one of Africa's most respected wedding and event brands. As founder and CEO of Zephyr Events Group, she has built a reputation for innovation, excellence, and creating unforgettable celebrations while quietly helping to professionalize an industry that barely existed when she started. A beautiful spread there for review the headlines on today's newspapers, and we're going to start with the newspaper of record this day on Sunday. Absolutely, the newspaper of record is beautiful design, today, but of course it's the news items that are more important. Just like yesterday, and throughout the week, this day is staying with the biggest, of course, news of the day. The lead story says, Army, how we rescued 44 abducted pupils, teachers, and the riders. Tell us more. Presidency Atiku in fresh row over release of victims. Former VP accused of silence after victims regained freedom. Presidency hails Obi for calling for Thanksgiving. Isn't that a good thing to do? Atiku denies allegation of silence, and NGF hails rescue. Makinde to brief Nigerians on what transpired. But of course, before Makinde briefs Nigerians, the army is speaking, and they are saying, essentially, if you look at the first paragraph of the story, the Nigerian army has revealed that the 44 pupils and teachers abducted by terrorists of Oriri local government area in Oyo State were rescued following a sustained intelligence-led joint security operation. And the same thing that we know, but of course, they're a bit more detailed. And of course, there are also the issues of the fact that they went after families and relatives. But of course, questions still persist. Was it like, a total capture of the terrorists, given that we were told that 9 were unalive and 8 people, and 8 of them arrested, absolutely. Was it like they kept the children, the pupils and the teachers elsewhere when this combat was going on? Given the fact that we also lost Lieutenant Isaac, who was part of
rehabilitating terrorists cannot at whatever level of influence be encouraged. But let us do our needful and do their needful by taking care of the victims of this insecurity. In my constituency, I still have 81 not yet recovered organs. In Borno, as I'm speaking to you, last 2 weeks, we lost nothing less than 45 people in one local government, and all of them are school children. They are still in the bush. And you are saying these little children the government should not pay ransom. Even FBI, SWAT in America paid ransom in cash to collect a single American. A single American.
And of course, what is happening in Nigeria today regarding the situation in River State is like an Indian proverb that said that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if the person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from executive to the legislature, like Senator Binta and others are here, and the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do. But they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep. And waking such a person is extremely difficult, because the person knows the right. The clear abuse of offices, clear abuse of power, clear abuse of privileges, cutting across from the three arms of government, from the executive to the parliament to the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. I've been a president before, and even after leaving office as a former president, will get to me. Why is that our passport is not valued that much? Why is that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we're supposed to receive by the international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys of 419 and not only them, yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in the country today would be good, especially relating to what is currently happening in the country regarding River State. As we gather here today, we are reminded that the pursuit of social change is a continuous journey, one that requires a collective effort, commitment, and perseverance. The theme of this curriculum is timely and relevant as we seek to address the present issue of our time, from inequality and bigotry to social injustice and marginalization. I believe that it is mark of good leadership and governance to be able to leverage the transformative power of diversity, equity, and inclusion for social change. As a leader, I have seen how these values can bring people together, foster a sense of belonging, and unlock the full potential of individuals and communities. And that's why today I think I appointed more women into office than any other president. Because the issue of inclusivity is critical. However, I have also
I don't think the British really wanted Nigeria to be a very successful country. We were dreaming very big, but the structures with which we were dreaming were already in trouble. Things started falling apart when Nigerian government began that process of eliminating other Nigerians from the process of governance, ensuring that what belongs to particular groups of people were denied them. The active destruction of the advantages certain people possess just in order to exercise power without having any practical goals in mind began. It began too early, which is to say, by 1960, the idea of smashing the opposition, of ensuring that people do not overdream, had started in Nigeria. I mean, I always start by saying what went wrong began when Nigerians started sharing the loot of influence, and it was agreed by the ruling coalition that some regions would have to be excluded, and some regions must take over as many jobs as possible, and then all the developmental directions were simply seized by the leading party. Once you did that, and Nigeria became an environment in which the struggle for sharing was more important than the production of value.
Thank you, Gentle. Thank you so much, Gentle, to have you around.
You hesitate about using the term, but actually the Biafra problem was nothing except the genocide. There was no distinction. The mere fact that you were an Easterner in those days labeled you fake only for one thing: death, and death at the hands of the Nigerian authorities. The Igbos and their associates were killed in practically every village in northern Nigeria. They were killed in many places in western Nigeria. Lagos, even on Cannon Bridge, the very center of Lagos, people were looked at and they thought, oh, this looked an Igbo, and killed. The very first army officer killed in Lagos, actually, during that time was from Calabar, was killed on the bridge, and so on. Igbos were being hunted out and killed. The Igbos that remained in Lagos after the war began were herded together and detained without any trial or anything. No question of any legal rights. Till today, property of Igbos are still sequestered in various areas of Nigeria, and they have not been released, not all of them, to the Igbos, the original owners. But no, we're quite certain. In fact, the only reason it is not called or not accepted as genocidal is because of the Cold War. At that time, anything ethnic-based was almost like an insult to humanity, and ethnicity became a term of abuse in politics, that's all. If it were today, certainly, what happened in Nigeria is much, much worse than what you have seen of Rwanda, not to talk about Eastern Europe.
Let the universe bear witness to the sacred code. The ground beneath us does not yield to seasonal guests. The tenant cannot sack the landlord. The employee can never sack the employer. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the supreme leader of IPOB. His command is final. Whatever he says goes. Pursuant to the strict authority of the supreme leader and the sacred unyielding IPO code of conduct, the third administration of the docks is hereby dissolved. The sentence is passed, your names are permanently erased. Chikaedozi, you are sacked. Tony Surumike, you are sacked. Austin Ampanyim, you are sacked. Kuya Forma, you are sacked. Isaiah Uba, you are sacked. Collins Chinedu, you are sacked. Chinazan Woru, conscience. Stay off from my POV. You no longer speak. You no longer act for the children of light. The employee cannot fire the boss. Tenant cannot sack the landlord. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader, the supreme leader of IPO. Through the trials, through the chains, his word remains absolute. Whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says goes. Whatever the supreme leader says goes. They thought darkness could hide the shadows of beauty. They forgot the soil remembers every treacherous deed. After the illegal extraction, when the leader was taken away, the enemies of the struggle came out to play. Governor Devuma, he paid $500,000 of blood money bribe to buy collars for the scholars of shame. They took the cash, sabotaged the release, and traded the crown and private media houses just to tear the leader's legacy down. But the truth is a rock, it crushes the hand that betrays. But in the darkest hour, the true guardian stood high, refusing to let the message of restoration die. We lift our voices to honor the ones who defended the light, the shield of the truth. In the dead of the night, thank you, Biafra vanguard media for standing so bold, for ensuring the untruth the truth was always told. Salute the dedicated souls of heaven, standing the test. Salute the rising sun, healing and blessed, and the ambassador for self-determination marching ahead, keeping the fire burning for the living and the dead. You defended the leader, you shielded the name from the stem. Oh, whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say goes. Whatever the supreme leader says goes. The fourth cause is here, working with global power to heal the land. The genocide must stop, the boss has spoken. Victory is absolute.
To have come this far. One thing I'm going to ask you, I think it's going to be the last question before I will allow you to rest, because you have been on this journey for a very long time and every day on the phone and all that. So I'm going to ask you one last question. The question is this: if from what I've just read now about the motion for Biafra independence at the UK Parliament. Yes. The wording is that the Office of the Commonwealth must make sure they use their diplomatic power and ties to compel, though they did not use the word compel, but to compel Nigerian government to organize referendum for a possible freedom of Biafra. And this is exactly what we are all asking. Now, if this did not happen, are you ready to lead us to do anything to get the freedom of Biafra? Yes. I'm going to be number one to follow you.
Yes. The thing we're going to live like this, like a month of animal forever, of course not. Of course not. They know that we are coming. And I will come. And I will bring it here. You understand it very well. You better give me Biafra now. If they do not give me Biafra now, so I am making it very clear to you what they understand what I'm saying. Very clear. So that by the time that we are gone, history they will remember the things of God upon our backs. We have not come for anything else. I don't take this for anything else. Not for Biafra to happen. If you're not going to give me Biafra, I'm going to destroy everything that I'm seeing on my back. I'm being honest with you. There is no other outcome. Forget about all those sleeping drama. That's rubbish. Give us a referendum. as if British MP is right to be in keeping with the fact that in England, have people that have soul in the country. If you have a referendum today and people say you should vote to remain one Nigeria, I will give up. But that's what we're going to do. And nothing. You know, you know where we are now. You think that we are going to drop our economies now? So we're going to drop it now? No way. You must negotiate. And that is going to be referendum. They understand it. Or else we do them here. And they know it. If Boko Haram, a bunch of idiots that didn't go to school and give it a long time, imagine people who are educated all over the world. But as you know, with them, their ears will be blocked and we think they are attention to something. They will think, oh, we have our nation. We have God, we also have the likes of God, and then we can prevail. But you heard the story soon as well. We are not going back. We have come to die. Thank you very much for having me. Sam.
The principal idea is that this should be done in a peaceful way. Is your group opposed to a peaceful way of achieving Biafra, or are you support both sides, but at this point, what is your group?
I support both sides. The people speech that is wonderful. If they decide to go down the route of violence, then I can give you this assurance today. Of course, your worldwide listeners and viewers will be able to notice this. If they do not give us Biafra, there will be nothing else. Nothing will survive, I can assure you. You see, 1967 to 1970 is not good. We have scientists then, now we have men that can make things happen. Even better than what we had in the late 60s. So that should bring as a warning to all of them that we are not joking. I do not believe in peaceful actualization of whatever rubbish is called. I have never seen where you become free by peaceful means. You know, you tell me. I'm a student of contemporary history. I have never come across anywhere in the history books where you get your freedom out of a peaceful process. It never happened. Never, ever, ever.
Now, let me ask you, if you look at the world today, look at a place like Scotland, where people, the Scottish are in the process of trying to see the union country. Basically, the way they went about it was to say, we want to be separate from British England, and they are putting a big process where they will vote, and the majority of them say they want to move back there. Now, I want to ask you, do you think that if you ask majority of Igbo people today whether they should be part of Nigeria or part of Biafra, that you have the numbers that will come to your side again?
Yes, we have over 98% of our people willing. The other 2% are those fathered by House and Fulani men as a consequence of the war. Everybody born as a Biafran, everybody born as an Igbo, Ibibio, Ebi, and an Ebanke, anybody born as a job has freedom implanted in their DNA. That is why we have autonomous communities. Have you seen anywhere in the world where you have autonomous communities? Have you seen? The answer is no. The reason why we have autonomous communities is because we are born to be free. We want to be autonomous. And that's freedom we carry right all the way to the heart of governance in the Political Republic of Nigeria. We must make this very, very clear and abundantly clear to our people that our quest is for us to be free. You mentioned Scotland. Scotland is already a free nation. What they are seeking in Scotland is independence. We are not free and we are not independent either. So that is why the same scenario doesn't apply at all. In Scotland, as a Scottish person, you have your own parliament, you can do whatever you like. You even have what is called tax-based power. You can raise taxes or you can lower them as you like. The Scottish Court of Session is in charge of the entire legal process.
Let me ask you, I know. Why don't your group push for that in a place like the national conference that is going on now, to get that kind of autonomy first, rather than now pushing for independence without whether Nigeria wants it or not?
The fact of the matter is that the structure doesn't exist. The institutions that would allow the emergence of a democratic Biafra within a peace society does not currently exist in that very place for Nigeria. Mind you, that is the name of the river. Up north, we call them Niger, it is French. If you come down a little bit, it is called Niger, it's English. And the people that live around it are called Nigerians. It's the only place, or part of the only place in Black Africa where you name people after the river. I have never seen a civilized country in the world where people are named after the river. It's never happened before. People own the river, not the other way around. By tacitly accepting the word and the tag Nigeria, what it means is that you never had any history until the illegal came, which is a paradox, an abomination, and nobody should be saying that. Coming back to what he said, there is no way we can run for office as a political party. We tried it with ABGA and it did not work. These issues were thrashed out very well. Is that the people that control the levers of power within Nigeria are not politically sophisticated enough to appreciate the finer points of political discourse in all the world, that this peace resolution can best be conducted within a political setting where people are civilized. And I'm afraid to say that what I see in the zoo they call Nigeria.
This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong, but them military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Tell them I touched me. Remember when me tell you say I touched me. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you go like a Papa Nuku. But them they were Boniro. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi Samiro. Me tell you what I day. For me the front and the rest of man I tell you what I do. Me never give up. Me tell them say
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together. No retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
And I look up to the sky with tears in my eyes. For other Biafrans, and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, we'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front. Without food, without guns. For our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Raise the flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
they paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen hero. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen hero. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Yeah, put the flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is.